Go.
Is that we was talking about there about using the textbook to break down the priority list. The engine is the main focus, and then the drivetrain or transmission is the second focus. Then the differential is the next step that needs to be upgraded and dyno matched. The breaking down the issues is to focus on the engine being the main focus, to decide what steps are needed to complete the process of building the engine, to where by working with the machinist, decide what machine work needs done, because in drag racing the process is called dyno matching, where you match all components of the drivetrain, which includes the engine, transmission, and differential, to be dyno matched to work together, instead of trying to put a square block in a round hole. So it's basically sequential steps there that are used to properly match up the components, so it'll add life to the car and drivetrain, so you don't have to worry about having it scatter on you and blow apart while you're going down the racetrack. And by doing the machine work, the engine specialist will be working with them to dyno match all the components involved, to match everything so they work together, and the machinist to be enlarging the diameter of the cylinder sleeves there, so it can go from 10-to-1 compression ratio with the stock crank with the 4-inch connecting rods there, to upgrade it to where I can put 12-to-1 compression ratio pistons in it with the 5-inch strip crank, and that'll increase the cubic inch displacement to be equivalent to 427 cubic engine instead of a 350 like it originally started as.
Okay, you need to keep moving.
And and this process is going to cause the need for a full frame compared to a unitized body, where it'll have to be professionally welded, because with this increased amount of horsepower and torque, the problem that myself and others have ran into in the past is, without making it a full frame, as you accelerate, when you fully accelerate the car to take off quickly, the body will twist and the doors will come open. So to complete this car, a professional welder will be needed to weld the brackets on the spindles for the front brakes, because all the braking system needs to be upgraded to V8 setup, and the professional welder needs to put weld the frame on underneath the car, and also for the engine mounts for the V8 setup for this purpose needed to be welded to the frame, and then bolted to the engine block, and then rubber pads be installed between the engine mount and the frame mount, and they'll be bolted together.
Okay, you're running out of time. Do you want to show your parts?
Okay, now, for example, one of the upgrading parts is this here is a fuel pump there that'll produce enough pressure to, supply 150 gallons per minute. But by using this pressure regulator, this here is where the fuel line comes in, and this here is for the fuel pressure regulator that by using the gauge error, because it'd be using a Holley carburetor, and if the pressure exceeds 7 to 7.5 pounds, it'll blow the seats on the carburetor. So this needs to be adjusted to have this to read 7 to 7.5 pounds pressure, so it doesn't destroy the carburetor. And then by dynamatching the transmission, it'll be used to where it'll be a 2-speed transmission that'll have to be modified in order to reach the speeds needed. And this here is the fuel cell that I'll be using, because the original fuel cell wouldn't hold the pressure from the fuel pump. Then, how much time do I have left?
You're done. You need to do your conclusion.
Now, in conclusion, by doing all the steps that are needed there in a sequential manner, the car will be able to meet the customer's expectations and be able to run the race in a quarter-mile racetrack and reach speeds of over around 210 miles, if not higher. And it's going to be done in a 2-year time frame and under the quoted price. Because if we had done somewhere else, it had been a lot more money. So by following all the sequential steps and using the proper sequences, it would be possible to reach the goal of all involved with a satisfied customer and the owner of the company like to profit from the work provided.